Yo, Rocco B Scotty G, highly explicit NFL podcast. We're back, episode 28. Holy shit. And we are here to recap week 2. What a fucking week 2, Scotty. But this is Rocco B from Louisville, Kentucky, and I am fucking hot over this weekend. I can't wait to get to it. But first, here's my boy from California, Scotty G.
How you doing?
Oh, man. Week 2, Scotty. Week 2. Big boys win, terrible Jets loss, and a bunch of weird fucking games and a lot of crazy shit that we got to get to. Oh, boy. What'd you think?
Well, right now it's hard for me to think because I had about 15 shots yesterday. It was like my first Sunday off of the season. I know it's only week 2, but I haven't had a Sunday off, and I was excited. I'm not going to have any more Sundays off in the foreseeable future.
Hey, we got 15 more weeks, man. Come on.
The shots were flowing, and I'll be honest with you. Some of the games were a little fuzzy, but I made sure I reminded myself whatever I had to remind myself in the morning, and it was a good day of football. Unless you're a Jets fan, then it was a miserable day.
That's where I want to start off, buddy. Boy, I know you got a fucking headache now. I get it, but you're gonna need some more leave after fucking I talk about this team.
Oh boy!
I told you, the New England Patriots.
There's some. I got some good things and bad things to say, but you started off.
Yeah, let me just get it over with because
because
I know you got to get into it. Let me get over with. I told you, Big Balls Belichick owns rookie quarterbacks. I told you, and Zachy Wilson was the perfect guy for him to fucking eat up yesterday. They are going to be like the 2000s team with the early Brady, great defense, boring offense.
Get the fuck out of here!
Because look at Mac Jones.
I agree with you. 180 some yards. He had he only missed 8 passes though, which is great. No interceptions, but no touchdowns. I agree with you on all that, on all those points. But I don't. Mac Jones to me still isn't Tom Brady. This still isn't the same team. It's going to be a similar style team. I just don't think it's as good as that team. I don't think this defense. Yeah. Well, I don't think his defense is as good as that team. That was a legendary defense back then.
I'm saying
underrated
style.
Defense.
I'm saying style points.
Style. All right, I'll give you that.
And the fact of what they're going to do over the season, they're not going to go nuts. They're going to win close games. They're going to beat the shit out of teams that, they should beat the shit out of, especially with that defense. But I hope Mac Jones isn't proving us wrong. We'll see. Jones. We'll see when it comes down to it. Really, when Mackie boy, Big McCorkle has to fucking throw the ball to come back, or some tight throws when he's got a great defense playing against him. We'll see. But I'm worried about the Jets not because of Zachy Dub's 4 picks. I mean, let's get real. I mean, like I said, Big Balls owns fucking rookie quarterbacks. Zachy Dub is just the guy who's coming from maybe a little bit of a smaller school in BYU and not as great of competition as maybe a Justin Fields or Mac Jones didn't go through in college. But, we were fucking saying the Houston Texans were going to be a lock for the number 1 pick, man. I'll
Fuck
tell
you. I know where you're going with this.
I'll tell you.
Fuck
I don't know.
you.
I don't see how they win games, man. They don't have any talent.
I told you. Whoa,
they don't have any talent on defense, man. It's all. I mean, Marcus May is a fantastic player, but you can't.
That's what you took out of that game. That's what you took out of that game.
I'm not. I don't.
You just tell me
where they are. Where's their running game? Tell me where their running game is. Tell me where their tight ends are. They don't have anything.
To quote the angry, annoying old man Skip Bayless, you let me know when it's my turn, okay?
Give me like 30 more seconds. I don't understand where they're going to get points. I just don't. This offensive line's banged up. They have no tight end play. They have no running back play. Yeah, they got some studs at wide receiver, but how the fuck is Zach Wilson, a rookie who's fucking 5'9" and 170 pounds, how's he going to get him the ball? Okay? And then on top of that, when they can't score any points, tell me who on this defense is going to stop anybody. I mean, Marcus May is fantastic. He's got to go. If I'm Marcus May, I'm getting the fuck out of this fucking town because they don't want to pay safeties, and I don't like the future. I think they're going to have the number 1 pick again. I hate to tell
you. Is it my turn? Can I go?
They're going to have either a top. What I meant is I think they're going to have a top 2 pick. It's going to be between them, Jacksonville. We'll see what Houston does, but I really don't see the Jets winning more than 3 games this year. I really don't.
I'm shocked that that's what you pulled from this game. I don't know if you watched all the game. I mean, for the most part, I watched every snap besides when I'm looking at my phone or I was checking out the Eagles game because I went with Dr. Tomas to go check out the Eagles-Niners game. We'll get into that a little later. But here's what I pulled from that game. I felt a lot better about the team watching that game, and I felt a lot worse about Zachy Dub watching that game. Zach Wilson looked like fucking trash, and I'm going to tell you why he looked like trash. Because it wasn't like it wasn't like he was getting blindsided or defenses where guys were jumping routes or he was hitting off a wide receiver's hands. It wasn't even he was forcing balls in between guys. He was literally throwing to wide open Patriot defenders, and he was throwing to Jets players where there was literally a Patriot like 3 yards in front of him. Not even like it was in between while he was running. The guy's literally in front of him. I'm like, there was a high school quarterback wouldn't make that decision. So I don't know if he got nervous. I don't know if it was too much stress. I don't know if he was just, I don't know what was happening.
Was he seeing ghosts?
He might have been seeing ghosts. He might have been seeing ghosts because he literally, it wasn't even like him trying to force the ball. It was just bad playmaking. And it also felt like, I don't know if you noticed this at all too, it felt like a lot of his balls were like 90-mile-per-hour fastballs when he sometimes needs to put some touch on the ball. I'm like, bro, you don't need to zip every fucking ball here. Like, I get it. You got a little bit of a cannon on him. I appreciate that. And it's going to be helpful in the future because he's going to have times where he's got to rip it in there. But I felt like every goddamn throw was a rip. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, it's not going to work this way.
So you were telling me that you were worried about Zachy Dubs. You're a little bit more worried about Zachy Dubs than you were the team.
Oh, well,
I'm the opposite.
That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Because the offensive line played much better today. Zachy Dub was not on his back. I don't know if you noticed the running game. Michael Carter showed the fuck up. I was waiting for this guy to fucking have some flash. Bro, this guy looked good yesterday. The run game looked okay. The committee of running backs looked all right. Now,
they don't have a goal line running back. They're on the goal line and couldn't get in.
I get that. And that's going to come with time. You throw any kind of big motherfucker. They really should have thrown
Tevy.
No, I don't think Coleman's that kind of guy. What's the other guy? Ty Johnson. I think he's got the power. Ty Johnson to me is a poor man Philip Lindsay. That's exactly what he is. He's got that like burst. I thought the offensive line looked a lot better. I thought the running game looked a lot better. We also had another sighting. Elijah Moore came out of nowhere. Corey Davis, numbers were terrible. Corey Davis was getting balls thrown behind his head to the other team every time he was quote unquote targeted.
Yeah.
This guy's poor stat line looks like shit because every time he was targeted, the ball was 5 yards away from him.
No, I love Corey Davis.
He had no chance of catching the ball.
Yeah.
So it was nice to see Elijah Moore step up and catch some balls. It was nice to see Michael Carter step up and show some burst. The secondary, Bryce Hall and whatever the fucking guy who got hurt, Eccles, whatever the fuck his name is, they both looked pretty good. Marcus May looked great. Bro, I don't think you realize we threw 4 interceptions and the game was within one score or a score and a field goal up until the fourth quarter.
Well, I think that has a lot to do with Mac Jones. I mean, to be honest, I mean, look at the other fucking team. Who scares you in New England? Nobody. I mean, Jonnu Smith, they're not using him right. They ran a goddamn flea flicker, and they threw it for 12 yards. I mean, that's what kind of team we're talking about here. Mac Jones had a wide open fucking post pattern to Aguilar behind Marcus May on a flea flicker that could have easily been a touchdown. He checked it down to Jonnu Smith. Why would you do that?
And I get that, but we also had a ball where Corey Davis was wide the fuck open, and if you just touched him, like just gave it the ball a little bit more touch and threw it in the right position, it was a touchdown. Instead, he zoomed it in him. Corey Davis caught it and basically flew out of bounds. So it was like a 30-yard catch or whatever it was, but it would have been to the house if he threw it properly.
Well, sure, we're talking about like, 2 rookie quarterbacks. You know, that's why it wasn't 45-6 yesterday.
But and I get that, but what I'm saying is still we were within striking range the whole game with 4 interceptions. Mac Jones didn't throw any interceptions. I would agree with you if you're like, okay, it doesn't scare you, but you had 4 extra chances than anybody else, and they scored at least 2 field goals off those interceptions. I would have to look back. I think it was more than that because every time it happened, I had to take another fucking shot. But what I'm saying is, to me, I thought the overall team. I'm not saying they're world beaters. I'm not saying they're ready for the Super Bowl. But I thought the overall team looked much better week 2 than week 1. The problem is Zachy Dub looked worse week 2 than he looked week 1, and he didn't look great week 1. So that's not a good sign. I understand it's big balls, fucking Mr. Belichick, but still.
Sure. I'm glad you feel like that because, I mean...
That is how I feel. Even Croft was catching the ball. I mean, you're right, though. We need a tight end. We got to go get Zach Ertz, man. Go get that motherfucker.
They got to get a guy for him to throw down low to where he doesn't even have to read anything. Get him a Jason Witten type fucking Kelsey where he just sits
something.
down.
Go get Ertz.
Yeah,
2
just
years.
sit down. They don't have a fucking tight end. They haven't had a tight end since what? Fucking Dustin Keller, and that's fucking 12 years ago.
Yeah, and he was good for like a season.
So, they got to get a fucking tight end. I've been saying it for years. And they got to figure out this run game. They got to figure out who's the guy and just fucking feed him. But
I agree with you. We need a power back, but I think the other backs by committee are all looking good. They need to select one or two of those guys, ship the other one out, and then bring in a badass like a Latavius Murray type of guy.
Yeah, but at minimum, I think they're about a year and a half away. They probably need another 2 drafts, I'd say. And they just got to hope Wilson's the guy. But, all right, well, it's a moral victory for you, I guess, after that game. And
not a moral victory. I'm just saying. I didn't look at it and be like, oh, the team's got nowhere fast. Like we're hopeless. I thought the team they took a step in the right direction, but Zachy Dub took a step in the wrong direction, which I guess as a Jet fan, it's probably the opposite thing of what you want because our team's always been good. Yeah. Not always been good, but we've had years where our team's been good. We just never had a good quarterback, ever.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, you go from moral victory there, and my team had a moral victory after week 1. And with the Cowboys having that moral victory over Tampa Bay, I didn't know what to fucking expect in week 2. And the way that we kind of talked about it on the last pod, with all these guys out for Dallas, you're going all across the country to fucking L.A., even though their training camp is in Oxnard, which is down the road from the fucking stadium in L.A., I don't know. It just seemed like Justin Herbert, who fucking played fantastic against Washington, the Chargers have all their pieces. How the fuck is Dallas going to go in there and even just make it a game? They're just missing so many guys. The Dallas Cowboys beat the fucking Chargers in L.A. on a last-second field goal by Greg Zuerlein, 20-17. And Dak Prescott is proving me wrong in the past 2 fucking weeks. He is playing lights out, Scotty.
I don't know. I mean, he proved me wrong on the fact that I thought off his injury, but I think he's proven you wrong because you just thought he was trash in general. I don't know how you were so against this guy.
Not trash in general. It's the fact when the big fucking plays have to be made in the big spots, can he do it? That motherfucker let us down at the end when we needed a field goal.
Dude, he's got multiple comeback drives in his career.
He did it, and Zuerlein proved me wrong because I said, let's get another fucking kicker. This guy's got back problems. I don't think he's going to do it. 56 yards, he says, go fuck yourselves, Chargers. I put it right down the middle. And another pleasant surprise, did you see our running game yesterday? Did you see Pollard?
I did.
Did you see Zeke?
Showed up a little bit too.
Holy shit. I mean, you want to talk about burst from the backfield. Zeke had some of it, but Pollard is fucking lightning, man. And I think he's deserved to now be the number 1 back in Dallas. And
I told you got to sprinkle more Pollard in. I've been saying
it. I really believe you got to sprinkle the Pollard. I really do. And he's definitely got to be sprinkled in a lot more. Now you're paying all that money to Zeke. He's got to play. He's a great pass blocker. He's a great catcher out of the backfield. But I'll tell you what, they better use a 2-headed system here because it's working. But I think the one thing that's not working, Scotty, is Mike fucking McCarthy. He's a fucking moron.
I know. We dodged a bullet on that, even though Gaze was still worse. But
he's a moron. Did you hear what he said at the end of the game? Why they fucking wasted 20 seconds to fucking kick the field goal, so we had to go for a 56-yarder instead of calling a timeout and getting at least 2 extra plays to try to get a couple more yards? He says the fucking screen he was looking at went out. And then he said Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator, couldn't call a timeout because the cameraman was blocking him. What? He's a fucking idiot. He's such a goof. He's the perfect guy for fucking Jerry Jones to hire to just be the fucking yes man on the sidelines. He looks even goofier than fucking Jason Garrett did. It's such a damn shame because this fucking team is stacked. And this defense, Scotty, I don't know if you saw fucking Micah Parsons off the edge as a defensive end.
Yeah, he looks good, man.
I don't know why he's playing linebacker. They should put him as fucking defensive end every fucking game.
Yeah, he should be just an edge rusher.
Holy shit.
So I mean, I can't say that. He's still a great linebacker, but he is great at rushing.
He shouldn't be. Yeah, he shouldn't be a middle linebacker, is what I'm saying. I think he's got to be off the edge and he's got to be patrolling, from sideline to sideline, but not from the middle. I really think he's got to be rushing the passer half the time. And honestly, man, that defensive secondary, they made plays, man. Did you see that fucking pick by Diggs? There's no way you pick a ball on a fucking drag across the fucking middle of the field and then you can get in front of that fucking guy and dive and make that catch like he did, unbelievable. And then Herbert made a gigantic mistake at the end of the game where he threw the ball to KZ in the end zone when they were in the red zone. So, but I like where this team's going. I don't like our head coach, and our quarterback's got to stay healthy. But really shocked, and this team is really pleasantly surprising me this year.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is the run game showed up a little bit, which I thought was a huge positive note. The coaching still does suck. I mean, this team definitely is looking better than I thought they would. Defense looks good. Dak looks good. I think right now, if they can just overcome these injuries, if you can just keep rolling. I don't have your schedule in front of me, but I don't think it's the easiest schedule.
No, they don't play a good team until my birthday, November 21st, the Kansas City Chiefs.
So it is an easy schedule. I was saying
schedule.
I don't think it's an easy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you can just kind of keep it on the positive side, like if you guys, whatever it is, you go like even 3-2 or 4-2 or something like that, around week 7, 8, 9, 10, you're gonna start getting a lot of these fucking guys back. I think, right?
Yeah.
You got a lot of injuries that are.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys are gonna start coming back.
Absolutely.
Dak Prescott's gonna start hitting his flow. A lot of these guys are gonna start feeling better. Micah Parsons will probably hit his stride. So this is a team, and I'm not saying it's gonna happen because I'm still a little hesitant on anointing the Cowboys to this division. But this is a team that potentially, if they can keep the shit rolling and keep the positivity on your wins loss column, I think this is a team that can get hot at the right time because you got a lot going for you, and there's a lot of reasons why you shouldn't be hot yet, and you're already looking pretty good.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the injuries are a fucking huge deal.
Injuries are a huge deal, and you got rookies that are stepping up that shouldn't be yet. They should be not blossoming until later. And you got guys coming off injuries like Dak Prescott that shouldn't be playing as well as they are, and they are. You got guys like Zeke, who I thought was done, who's showing little signs of life. Like there's things here that it's going to be different. I mean, Zach Martin.
One more guy. Everybody was talking about the offseason. He's going to make this big stride, blah, blah, blah. He is. He's a fucking stud, and he will be the number one guy in Dallas, hopefully for the next 5 to 10 years, and that's CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb was making play after play after play. There was one drive that it was literally just all Lamb. It was they ran the ball with him. They threw the ball to him. He's unbelievable. Just get the ball in his hands, let him do what he's got to do. So we can let Amari go at some point because, again, Amari just doesn't show up on the road for some reason. I don't understand it, but it's a definite thing. But let's get to the Chargers real quick. Herbert, some of those throws he was making, man. At one point he was 16 of 17, and the ball didn't hit the ground because his one incompletion was a fucking interception. So the guy's amazing. I mean, he's fucking amazing. He's gonna be great. He threw 2 bad picks. But honestly, from there, if I'm the Chargers, there were some questionable calls. Herbert is still the real deal. They do have a nice running game and a nice offensive line as well. They're going to be just fine. Though, watching this game, I don't know the fucking big deal about Joey Bosa. I really don't. If you can tell him do something else besides rush the passer, he can't do it. He was not in the game at all other than influencing a pass rush. That's it. And this guy is supposed to be the best of the best fucking defense.
And Nick Bosa's the same way. Nick Bosa's, I think, is a little better, but he's the same fucking way.
I don't see it. I don't see it from Joey. I think Nick plays the run a little bit better. Joey Bosa doesn't play the run. And I just don't understand it. He's fucking overrated as fuck. But I will tell you that 1-1 after those 2 games and staying within 2 points of Tampa Bay, very, very, very happy.
That's a big deal. And I got to say real quick about the Chargers. I think Herbert's still young. I think that team's going to be good. I think he's going to be fine. But the one thing I did notice watching that game, I still think they're a big play receiver away from being a contender. I think they need a big guy. They need like if they can go get a guy like a Michael Thomas or something next year, or even this year if they can get somebody, I think that's what they need to put him over the top. Because I'm not sold on Keenan Allen being your number one guy.
Yeah, I'm with you. And Mike Williams in a contract year, and he's not reliable, so they're going to let him go, I bet. So I'm with you. If they can get someone big time, hello.
Go get Odell or something. Hopefully he has a bounce back. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if it'd be good for Herbert, but a guy like that, like if you can get a guy on like that, like take a flyer on, you know, I mean, we've seen it a million times before. We've seen guys that you thought were done, like a Randy Moss or something, that all of a sudden they get on the right team and boom.
You're right. I think he does need somebody, and that's the missing piece. Now, let's get to that game last night. Scotty, the night game. Holy shit.
Yeah, I know you got some question marks about it, huh?
I had some question marks. That, were we going to ask a bunch of questions about Lamar? Was he going to go 0-4 against Kansas City? Get the fucking monkey off his back, all that. He did last night. He got the monkey off his back. They won 36-35 in a fucking amazing game that I think was rigged. Did I say that? Sorry. Now,
what are you trying to say? Pat Mahomes about to open up the Players Club or whatever it's called?
I don't know what he did, but maybe some of his 500 mils fucking was put on somebody last night. All I'm gonna say is, what a gutsy ass win by the Baltimore Ravens. I think John Harbaugh could be the coach of the year. They have lost, I think it was like 17 or 18 fucking players to injury since the start of training camp. And a lot of those guys are starters and nasty players. Got to give it to them. They were running the ball like fucking crazy last night against a Swiss cheese defense in Kansas City. I'll tell you what, you got to give it to Lamar. They went for it, ballsy 4th and 1 at the end of the game too. He told Harbaugh, let's do it. After Harbaugh asked him, you want to go for this or not? And he said, yeah, let's fuck it. Let's do it. 4th and 1, he runs for the first down, ices the game. Got to love that shit. But, I'll tell you, I still can't. I don't think he's throwing the ball when he needs to. I really don't think that there was a bunch of times again with Mark Andrews, a couple other guys where he's not putting the ball and getting the easy 7 to 9 yards when there's an incompletion or he runs for 2 or gets sacked or whatever. He's not seeing that shit, and I think that's the one thing that's his piece of his kryptonite that's making him not be the quarterback that he really can be. And I don't think Baltimore can get to the top if he's not that guy.
I don't think he's ever going to be that guy. And I think
I don't either.
And I think when teams do that, they make him throw the ball and just contain him. When you get defenses that can contain him from going off or running for picking off 10 to 20 yards a clip, when you start cutting that down, and especially when you put the pressure on him, you're like, hey man, you got to throw the ball. You got to throw the ball down. You got to throw it downfield, or even those short balls, like those short little passes. It's like I just feel like he either gets flustered or he's just not accurate enough, or whatever the case is. He just can't get it done. And to me, because of that, I don't think he'll ever win shit, in my personal opinion.
I'm with you because it's too long now. It's his third year as a starter. I don't see why he's not doing that. So
and I will say this: my same argument with Josh Allen, and we'll get into that later. But like, the one thing I think the argument against me is for Josh Allen is he's at least shown signs of progression, at least the last year compared to the 2 years prior. Lamar Jackson hasn't changed a bit, not once.
I agree. Can we just talk about Kansas City real quick? And this is where I think maybe is what we're going to talk about, the beginning of where I called this downfall. This defense in Kansas City is atrocious. Yeah, Matthew had the pick 6 to start the game. Yeah, that's fantastic. He had another pick later on. Yeah, that's great. This defense can't stop a fucking nosebleed. And they have the worst red zone defense in the league by far. Every single time. It's a 100% fact that whenever a team gets in the red zone against them, they score a touchdown. That's fucking terrible. Absolutely terrible. They can't stop a team from within the 20 from getting in the end zone. That's awful. And they don't have a running game. They don't want to commit to a running game. This is like Dan Marino and the fucking Miami Dolphins in the 80s. They don't give a shit about running the football. They don't give a shit about whether they got a running back or not. It's all going to be on the quarterback. And it's bullshit. You can't do that. And sometime in this year, their cocky asses are gonna learn that they cannot fucking let all game, every game, Mahomes be the guy.
Yeah, you say that, but this is where you're wrong. This is where you're completely wrong because you act like this is a new thing. Oh my God, Kansas City's defense just doesn't look good. They haven't looked good for 3 fucking years, dude. It's been a shit defense, and then when the playoffs come, they're a bend don't break defense. They step up a little bit in the playoffs. So their whole game plan the last 3 years has been Andy Reid doing shootouts with fucking Pat Mahomes, and the whole thing is, yeah, you could say it's not going to work. It's not going to work. They just went to 3 fucking Super Bowls, or whatever it was. Yeah, what was it? Yeah,
no, they went to 3 AFC championships. They went to 2 Super Bowls, and then they only won one of them, basically because Jimmy G gave them the fucking game. So here's the thing. I don't think this team is as good as everybody says. I really don't. I'm sorry. I know I'm an championships,
3 AFC championships, and 2 Super Bowls. I don't know. They could tank now for the rest of the
talks about the Buffalo
decade,
Bills?
And it still was worth it.
Who talks about the Buffalo Bills from the early 90s other than the fucking team that lost 4 Super Bowls in a row? Does anybody talk about them as being great? Hell no. This team could have easily been, and they'll probably be in the AFC Championship again. Who gives a fuck? this team was a Jimmy G fucking shooting in his shorts fucking too early away from losing 2 Super Bowls and losing an AFC Championship game in 3 years in a row. I'm sorry. They got owned in the fucking Super Bowl by Tampa Bay. They got owned again by fucking Brady but in New England at home. And this year, they're not learning. They're doing the same old shit. They didn't fix that fucking defense. Yeah, can you say they fixed the fucking offensive line? Maybe. Sure, but we'll see if they last. And Mahomes obviously can't do it all the time. And the fact that he couldn't beat that team last night, who was down so many fucking defensive starters, and some of them nasty defensive starters like Marcus Peters and fucking Derek Wolfe. You can't fucking tell me that he's not going to beat that team by 10 points and do it on his own. They can't do it.
I disagree with you. And this is where we talked about off the air, and I was saying this before, is I've made money off betting Duke UNC all the time. I made money off a couple years ago when they had Zion and everyone, because everyone said UNC had nobody that year, and they said Duke should have fucking blown them out. The reason why I bet UNC that year to cover is because every fucking UNC Duke game, it doesn't matter what their talent is, it doesn't matter who's on their squad or what record they have. It's because of the rivalry, it's always a close game. I said the same thing with the Jets and Patriots. Obviously, that didn't look like that happened yesterday, but there's been plenty of times where the Jets have been terrible and they're going against Tom Brady, and I'm like, look, this could go either way because these teams rise up to the challenge of a rivalry. Ravens and Chiefs to me are not a rivalry, but fucking Mahomes and Lamar are. They've been compared their whole career now. So that the teams are going to play closer. That's why when we were doing our fucking spreads, I was saying the Ravens would cover, and you talked me out of it. But that's why. It's because every one of these games has been decided between like 2 to 6 points. It's been close games. It's not like they blow them out every fucking year.
No, I'll tell you, but you're exactly right on that. But I'll tell you, with this particular game, Baltimore was not even close to 100%. Kansas City was. Baltimore? Sound like a bird. Sound like a bird. That's why I said I wanted to try to change your mind, because there's no fucking way that if these two teams played when Kansas City and Baltimore were 100% before, and Baltimore keeps it within, like you said, 3, 4, 5, whatever, how the fuck would this game be Kansas City by less than 4? There's no way, right? And it shouldn't have been. There were a couple fucking shoddy ass plays.
Why don't you get to the why don't you get to the interception, and then I got to talk about the other interception.
That Mahomes interception, he never threw a pick. He has never thrown a pick in September, and yet you're going to tell me on a 3rd and 12 where there's a 3-man pass rush, and he steps up. Number one, doesn't run, but number two, you're going to tell me he's basically on the ground and he's just going to throw the ball up to Kelsey, who's only 7 yards downfield with 2 fucking Ravens next to him. You're telling me that's a smart play when you're up 11 points on a 3rd and 12, and that's what he's going to do? He's going to throw his first pick.
I don't think it's a smart play at all. But like, I think you forget this guy's high on his like. He thinks his shit don't stink. This is the same guy that's done these type of plays his whole career. He's throwing the ball left-handed. He's throwing crazy plays.
Sure.
He's falling. He does like a behind-the-back throw. And when he completes them, everybody sucks him off and says how great he is and, oh, my God, whatever. So what would stop him from going down when he sees Kelsey? Maybe he didn't see the guys coming on his side. I agree with you. He probably shouldn't have even tried it. But what would stop him to even attempt that? To me, that's not a crazy red flag.
Well, you got
play,
that. You got that on
he's done
top
those
of
things before. I just think in the past they've worked out. So just because he threw his first pick in September, it's not like his whole career was never going to throw a pick in September. It was going to happen eventually. There's no way.
Yeah, I just don't like the way it happened, number one. And then number two, we're talking about the fumble at the end of the game. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going down, to ice the game for Kansas City so they can have Butker come out, kick the field goal. Oh, and then Jason Owe, who goes now by Adafi Owe, fucking pops the ball out and then fucking hops on it himself.
Owe.
I mean, Owe, and then that's it. Baltimore goes away with the fucking win. It's like, come on. Like, there's just too much shit there for me to not only think something's maybe up with the fucking betting, which it always is, but number two, it just tells me more about Kansas City. It tells me more about this shit's getting old. And it ain't going to fucking happen for them if they don't change the way they do things. And I really think they're too cocky to fucking change.
You sound like a Jet fan talking about the Patriots and Tom Brady era. You know how many times I said that fucking 20 years ago?
Tommy Boy's the GOAT. This fucking
Yeah, they're comparing Mahomes to being the fucking GOAT too. I don't think he is, but I'm just saying he's in that already conversation because of how he plays. But I'm not going to go there because I agree he doesn't belong in that
This
conversation.
Fucking Kermit the Frog
but
motherfucker ain't Tom Brady.
Saying, Either way, I want the only I think argument you have on this whole conspiracy theory is that other interception. Lamar Jackson throws an interception to I guess Tyrann Matthews or whoever it was, right on the 1 yard line or on the goal line. And this motherfucker, I don't know, why did he pitch the ball? First of all, he pitches the ball. Then the other guy who takes it, literally as he goes down, literally just like lets the ball go. And to me, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Then another chief comes in and jumps on the ball. I'm like, literally, you intercepted the ball. It's a massive thing. If you can't go anywhere, just go down. Like, this is a big game. Like, what are you doing? So to me, that's like your only argument on shit being shady. The Mahomes interception, I think that's par for the course. That's Mahomes being Mahomes.
Yeah, it's just the fact they couldn't take advantage of that Baltimore team, and the fact that every time Baltimore ran a goddamn RPO, that three guys are going for the running back. Nobody goes for number 8.
I do agree that
doesn't understand.
That's a bad move. But.
Don't understand. But let's get off this game. All right, so now let's get to some more games of the week here. We got Buffalo and Miami. Okay, this is one of the games we had different. You had Miami, I had Buffalo. Buffalo kicked the shit out of Miami. He owns, in Josh Allen, he owns the Miami Dolphins. It's amazing how bad this matchup is for them, but he actually looked like shit in the first half. Josh Allen really looked terrible. This game could have easily been 50-0 if he played great in the first half. Buffalo's defense is so good. They are for real. They got studs all over the place. And the fact that they're now running the ball, very interesting. I think they found something with Devin Singletary and Zach Moss, as long as they can stay healthy. But I think they kind of committed to running the ball a little bit yesterday, and that was something. But you know what's not something, Scotty, is the big shocker of the day, Tua Tagovailoa got hurt, and apparently he had to be carted off for bruised ribs. So did anybody hear that? He had to be carted off for bruised ribs. I just wanted to throw that in there one more time. They had to go bring him back.
Why did he get carted off for bruised ribs? It's not like he broke his fucking leg. They think it was more serious?
I don't know. Maybe they had to adjust his stockings or something. But and then Jacoby Brissett came in, and Jacoby Brissett looked like hot fucking garbage. So, in my opinion, I'll ask you in a second. I believe this makes it obvious that they should do whatever the fuck it takes to go get themselves a quarterback. And there's a quarterback out there. There's a quarterback out there, and right now he may be on a massage table, but I think you got to bring him out of that room. Tell Susie Stroker over there to fucking sit down and bring him out.
It was a bad day for me because I saw that, and I saw I don't mind the Bills kicking ass because they got a great team. But I just saw seeing Tua go out like that, it kind of reassures that they're going to go get Watson. They're going to go get him. They got to get him. They're going to trade everything they got and go get him because this team is too good to waste time on seeing if Tua can stay healthy.
Too good.
So that was terrible. Shame.
Terrible. They are too good. They are a great team in my opinion.
They got a great coach. They got a great defense. They got a solid offensive line. They got some weapons.
I don't know.
There's no reason why this team shouldn't be better. There's no reason.
I don't know what's going on with Will Fuller. He sat out for the personal reason. They said he might not even come back this season. I don't know what the fuck's up with that. But they do have to get probably a straight line burner for the next quarterback, I'd say, because Waddle's your kind of slot dude, and Parker is on his way out, I think. But they need someone to go down the field there. But they have too good of a team to waste.
Didn't they lock up Parker last year?
They did. I don't like him. I think he's a shell of himself when he was at Louisville, and I think that now he's
I don't think he's a bad player.
I don't think he's a number one guy. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Well, what do you got next?
Well, what I got next is I got a Dr. Tomas special here. I think that the Philadelphia Eagles easily should have beat the fucking 49ers yesterday. They lose 17-11 to the San Francisco 49ers, who have the most boring offense I think I've ever seen, sans the Cincinnati Bengals. I believe that they need Trey Lance for a little flavor and to spice up that fucking offense, because that offense is boring. And even though they got a solid front seven on defense, their secondary still sucks to me, even with fat-ass Josh Norman. I don't know if you saw him with his gut hanging out. I don't think that that Jimmy G's the answer for San Fran. I think they have to get Lance in there as soon as possible for them to be Super Bowl contenders. But let's get to the Eagles. Man, Jalen Hurts is legit. And I hate the fact that he is an Eagle, because I love this kid. Love his character, love his game. And now that he's in Philly green, it really hurts me. Get it? But I will tell you that they left too many points on the field. Dr. Tomas was texting us during the game. I echo his sentiments big time on that because there were fucking plays in the red zone that they easily could have cashed in for either 6 or 3, and they went with a big goose egg. So, and the Eagles have a tough time, I think, coming back from that game and that loss because their best pass rusher, Brandon Graham, is going to be out for the season with torn Achilles. And their best offensive lineman, Brandon Brooks, may have a torn pec, and that might be a season ender. So 2 bad injuries in a game they should have had.
Look, I think you guys are both fucking a little bit out of your tits. I don't know what the hate is on Jimmy G. I really don't. The guy is 37-12 in his fucking career. The guy's a fucking winner. Like, you want to talk about all these guys. You love Tebow. You love all these guys that are fucking. The guy's a fucking winner. And you want to talk about old school Patriots? This is an old school Patriots team. The offense is boring, but they gets it done. The guy went 22 for 30. That's a pretty good fucking stat line. Yeah, he only had 189 yards and a touchdown. Your boy fucking Jalen Hurts, who I thought looked good, he only had 190 yards. It's not like he lit the fucking world on fire. Now, I thought he looks good, and I like Jalen Hurts, and I think he's actually going to be a good fucking quarterback for this team. So I think you got a problem there in Philly. But he also did more damage running the ball than throwing the ball sometimes.
Well, he would have had a 40-yard extra
there were some
with that fucking beautiful touchdown.
There were some drop balls. Yeah, there were some drop balls, and the Rager touchdown would have been fantastic.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. So I think Jalen Hurts is going to be a stud, and he looks good. But I don't know what the hate is on Jimmy G. This team, what they need is a better fucking secondary, and they need a running back to step up because these running backs by committee, they're like hit and miss. You know what I mean?
Well, real quick, but tell me, did they have the same team or a better team in the Super Bowl 3 years ago with Jimmy G at the quarterback position, and what happened? That's why I don't like them, because their team was way better.
Let me stop there though. You're saying in the Super Bowl. You know how hard it is to get to the Super Bowl?
You know how terrible it is to get to the Super Bowl and lose? Jimmy G ain't gonna win a Super Bowl.
No, I don't. I've never seen it happen.
I don't. Yeah, me neither. I don't want to get to a Super Bowl and lose. It's the worst thing you could possibly do. So
yeah, but I got to give credit where credit's due. I mean, I've seen some good teams not even sniff a Super Bowl. So the fact that he even got there, and honestly probably should have fucking won the game, and the team he lost to is unanimously considered the best team in the fucking NFL.
Yeah, well, the only reason why they lost is because of him. So that's the problem.
Was it because of him?
Yeah, that bad pick, man, in the way he couldn't come up in the fourth quarter when they
wanted. The defense also couldn't stop Mahomes. The defense that was great couldn't stop Mahomes.
I don't know.
They could have easily. I mean, how many points did he put up that game? Was it like 27 or something? Or I mean, they lost. I forget what the score was that game, but he put up more than 2 scores. That should be enough to win a fucking game.
Yeah, the fact that he was shitting his pants, I didn't like. And I know they gave up 31 points to the Chiefs, but there was a time there they're up 20-10. So 21 points in the fourth quarter would
exactly 20-10. Guess what Jimmy don't play? He don't play fucking defense.
He don't play defense.
Am I gonna say when you gave up 21 points that's on Jimmy G?
All right. Well,
he overthrew Sanders. It's one fucking play. We're gonna act like that never happens.
All right. Well, let me just do this. I know what I'm gonna get you for Christmas. That's for sure. It's not a Jets jersey. It's a Jimmy G jersey. And let's get off this game because we can talk about that Super Bowl for an hour. You want to talk about a fucking game where I was dead wrong, and this guy is again another guy who's pleasantly surprising me. The Las Vegas fucking Raiders.
Yeah, Raiders are surprising me too.
26-17.
They look better than they should.
Derek Carr, fucking stud. Showing you why he's a fucking stud.
I don't know why you like Derek Carr so much. I like Derek Carr, but I don't know why you like him so much. I think it shows more to me about the Steelers. Maybe they're not as good as I thought they were, but again, it's still week 2. We're probably still overreacting. We got to see how these
Carr's on the come up. But I will say, the thing that I was dead right about, Alex Leatherwood, the offensive lineman from Alabama, big fucking holding call, blew a touchdown that they scored in the game, and then later on he got hurt. So everything that I've been saying about Alabama offensive linemen is coming true, and especially in that one game with this fucking overdrafted guy.
You leave Alabama alone.
Oh, I'll leave them alone when their quarterback.
You got a bunch of Crimson
well.
Tides crying every time I listen to our fucking podcast. I don't know why you gotta do it to me.
I know, but I have to call it out. I'm sorry. It's there, and that's it. I got eyes. But Pittsburgh, like you said, buddy, I think they're fucking big time in trouble. Their offensive line is real bad. And now Deontay Johnson may be gone for the season. That's a huge fucking loss. Yep, I know. And,
Shocker.
it's weird. They finally got the ball to Najee Harris, and what happened? Oh, okay, he's making fucking highlight reel fucking plays. And do they want to, I don't know, maybe feature Chase Claypool at all? I mean, he's only the fucking most talented guy they got on offense, and they give it to him maybe 3 times a game. What the fuck are they doing? Okay, so I've had enough of Pittsburgh already in week 2 as far as what they're doing on offense. The defense is nasty, but now they got T.J. Watt with a groin issue. They gave up that big bomb to Ruggs, which they never do. I don't know. This could be like a seesaw fucking team.
I'm not
year.
I'm not panicking. I think they're gonna be a 9-10 win team.
I was going to say, could they be 9-8? Could this be a 9-8?
They could be,
team?
but I think they still get in.
Okay,
so.
All right. They still
Let's
get in.
keep going.
Interesting. How about Sammy D, Scotty? How about your boy Sammy
D?
D? Oh man, 26-7. Carolina owns the fucking very short-handed Saints in Carolina, and drunk Uncle Matt Rule is fucking killing it. 2-0. Carolina Panthers looking good. They look like they may be 3-0 after Thursday night. Poor New Orleans, man. Too banged up. They had a shit ton of players out. Lattimore didn't end up going.
I told you we was too soon to start sucking off Jameis Winston though.
And Jameis Winston showed you kind of who he was a little bit with a couple of those dumbass plays.
I'm not done with him. I think he's still going to be a good quarterback.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Can't be done with Jameis. I think it was a bad game, very short-handed. And these fucking guys are living out of hotels, man. They haven't been home in 3 weeks. So give it to them. Sean Payton will write that shit, but man, Sammy D doing it.
Is it too soon to say that you shouldn't have rid of Sammy D?
No, because guys need fucking different changes, and I can't stand that shit.
I know.
I can't stand that fucking shit. Everybody's like, they shouldn't have got rid of him. Give me a fucking break. What would he do with the Jets?
Can I tell you a little stat line that will sum up the Jets? Really?
I would love to.
Or a little piece of knowledge here.
I'd love to hear a nugget.
Zach Wilson is the 4th rookie top 5 pick with 0 touchdowns and 4+ interceptions in a game in the last 20 seasons. The 3 other quarterbacks, right? Alex Smith did in 2005. Okay. Mm-hmm. The other 2 quarterbacks, Sam Darnold and Mark Sanchez. Does that not tell you? Does that not tell you that maybe, just maybe? I mean, yeah, it's possible you just terrible picking quarterbacks. That's very possible. But maybe does it not tell you that maybe the teams have been shitty around these guys?
Yeah.
Because Alex Smith was on a pretty shitty team when he got drafted as well. That team sucked when he got there.
It's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable how these people would think that Sammy D would be the same exact thing, the same exact player, doing the same exact shit with that Jets team that he's doing with Carolina. The fucking morons.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think there's definitely some questions about Sam Darnold. I'm not saying he's going to be a fucking world beater quarterback, but at the same time, there were times with that team, as shitty as it was, I would see him play, and I'm like, I don't think this kid's that bad, actually. So we're going to see for sure this season, but I don't know. I'll tell you what, Sam Darnold is doing a good job of keeping fucking Deshaun Watson away right now.
Hello. Yeah, it's a shame that he didn't do it with the Jets, but he's doing it with Carolina, and he's looking pretty damn good. Man. Chicago fans, I think it's time.
Oh, it's been time.
I think it's time, and I think you guys are asking for it, and you've been asking for it. I think you're going to get it. Chicago wins 20-17 over my Cincinnati Bengals. I'll tell you what. When Andy Dalton ran to the sideline there and he picked up his foot and I thought he tore his Achilles right then and there, I said, these fans couldn't have been luckier. And I hate to say that for Andy Dalton, but there had to be something that got Justin Fields on the field, and the Justin Fields era is starting now, and it couldn't have happened soon enough.
Yeah, so what's the ruling on Dalton? Is he hurt or what?
They think he's got a hurt knee. I don't know why they would be knee. It looked like he was favoring the ankle, but they say
he's probably
that,
fine. They're probably just like fucking limp off the sideline, bro. You're done.
It could be. That's what. It's what's funny. We don't want to demote your ass. Act hurt, please. Just do it for your.
Look, I know this is your old fucking squad. Just limp off, man. We'll get you out of here easy.
It could happen. I'll tell you what. But let me just fucking vent real quick about the Bengals. Zach Taylor's got to go. He's the head coach and he's the play caller. It's the worst play calling I've seen since Jason Garrett. It's so goddamn conservative.
Where did Zach Taylor come from again? I forget. He came from a solid team, right?
Zach Taylor came from, I believe it was the Rams, wasn't it?
Was it the Rams? I don't think it was. Was it the Rams? We got to look that up.
I thought he was with McVay.
If it was, then that explains it.
Where the fuck is it? Yeah, it was the Rams. Okay, so he came. Yeah, okay. So I'll do that. I'll edit that. Where are we at here?
I'll just go back to Oscar. Where does Zach Taylor came from? You say the Rams.
47. Okay.
Where did Zach Taylor come from again?
The fucking Rams.
Yeah, but that explains it, man. I'm telling you, every time these guys come from high prolific offensive-minded head coaches, it's like you got to question. They're probably not as in tune, or the other way, even defense. Like it's like the Belichick disciples. Are they really running the defense, or is Belichick? Are they really running the offense, or is Andy Reid? It's like, do I really trust these guys to be doing what everyone thinks they're doing? Probably not. They're probably a lot different mindset. Just because they are on that team doesn't mean they agree with everything McVay or Andy Reid or Belichick are doing, which means they might not be as good of a coach.
They're not only predictable, but he doesn't understand what kind of team he's got. Burrow, every time he goes deep to Chase, it's complete. I don't understand, and Higgins is a deep threat too. Boyd could be your underneath guy. You got the tight end, Uzama, that's fine. But Higgins and Chase, especially Chase, deep. Stop fucking calling them to run routes. Run fucking 7-yard slants and fucking 6-yard outs and fucking 12-yard curls. No, that's not them. Throw the ball downfield. Burrow is a great downfield passer. Do it, and then you sprinkle Mixon in. Mixon's fantastic. Run the ball with him, throw him the ball, but you should be throwing the ball downfield as your number one fucking option. And they are calling short fucking passes, 3 5-step drops. It's ridiculous. Okay, so get him out of there. Zach Taylor's got to go. And their fucking defense is so much better than it has been. They got to take advantage of that, but they're not. And Zach Taylor has to go.
They're gonna be a top 5 pick, brother. Let's move on.
Nah, no way. Here we go. Now, Cleveland and Houston. I told you Houston was going to stay close.
Hey, what about that over? Hit the over. The over was 48, wasn't it?
Hit the over.
Motherfuckers.
Cleveland won 31-21. Their running game is just lights out. Their offensive line is reminding me of the Dallas Cowboys in their heyday back in 16-17. Jarvis Landry is lost. He got hurt with a sprained MCL. He'll be gone for 3 weeks. At least, and I just don't think Baker is the guy for when they're going to have to throw the ball deep. He made some boneheaded plays against the Texans, for Christ's sake. But the Houston Texans, man, they are not quitting. They are not quitting.
I like that. And I like what I'm seeing from the Brownies other than a couple Mayfield throws. But I'm not worried about them, man. I think they're going to be in the mix. I might be changing my pick for that Super Bowl fucking pick when it gets a little closer.
Oh, baby. I'm going to ask you a question in a second. Houston, I believe that they have nice weapons. They still got Cooks. I think this Nico Collins kid out of Michigan at wide receiver is going to be okay. I like what they got at running back. 3-headed monster there. And they still have a couple pieces on the offensive line, like a Laramie Tunsil and guys like that who can still play. Now that Tyrod Taylor's hurt, it's going to be up to Davis Mills. He's fucking green as grass. I expect them to get fucking wiped for the games that Davis Mills is playing. But, Scotty, where do you think OBJ is going? Do you think he stays, or do you think he's definitely gone by the deadline?
No, I think he's gone by the deadline. I don't know. I don't really know. Like I said before, I think the Chargers would be a fantastic place for him to go. I think that would be a good fit. I could also see the Raiders going to get him.
Okay.
I just feel like that's like a Gruden thing, but maybe not after the whole Antonio Brown situation.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. What do you think?
Okay. Do you see Seattle? Do you see Indianapolis?
No, I don't. No, I don't see those two.
Okay. We're going to be more along the lines of maybe he stays. Maybe he stays, but maybe he doesn't play. Maybe he's done. Maybe he can't stay healthy. I don't know if a team wants to take a shot on him to trade. Maybe he goes somewhere else in free agency at the end of the season.
I think he'll be cheap. I think he'll be cheap.
You think he gets
third
traded?
round pick, 4th round pick.
All right, we'll see. I think he's more likely to leave in free agency, but we'll see. Now, speaking of the Indianapolis Colts, Carson Wentz is made of glass.
Yeah, I get that, but are you ready to start giving Stafford a little bit more props? He looks fucking good, man.
Yeah, the Rams won 27-24. It wasn't that close in the game. There were a couple boneheaded mistakes that L.A. made, and then also a lot of boneheaded mistakes that Indy made. But at the same time, I don't think Indy was really ever in the game, in my opinion. Stafford's a gunslinger. His red zone defense was lucky to have Carson Wentz fucking be the quarterback of the other team. But at the same time, when they have to lock you down, you ain't moving the ball in L.A. It's not happening. And the Colts, their red zone offense was atrocious. I think Frank Reich is maybe one of those coaches that's on the hot seat because he's not feeding Jonathan Taylor. And he's putting a lot of eggs in the Carson Wentz basket, and that basket's made of glass.
I think Frank Wright's on the hot seat for the fact that he had to vouch for Carson Wentz, and this. I mean, it's early, but it's not looking good right now.
No, he's in deep shit. And like I said, those eggs are in a glass basket right now, and it's just going to break in probably a couple games. And the fact that he's already hurt again with his ankle is just tells you all that you need to know. But the Rams, again, with their 12 out of 17 games indoors, I think that's a team you got to worry about.
Agreed. Let's keep moving on.
Denver and Jacksonville. Denver wins 23-13 in Jacksonville. They're 2-0 now against awful teams. I think they're a very solid team all over the place. Teddy is, of course, steady Teddy, but I don't believe they're going to the playoffs. I believe once they start playing some teams that can play ball, they got your Jets coming up, so they should be 3-0, and then after that, some solid teams, some solid teams are coming in to play them. So Denver is kind of fool's gold right now.
I agree. I said this before the season started. I said this team's probably gonna go like 5-1 or 4-1, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my God, Denver's gonna be the shit. Denver's gonna be shit," and then they're gonna hit a fucking wall, and you watch. They're gonna end up losing like 5 of the last 6 or something worse, 6 of the last 7, something crazy.
Yeah.
And they're gonna look like an average team. They're gonna end up like fucking 7-10 or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, they'll be 7-10, 8-9. But they're good against bad teams, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Jacksonville,
and they're probably a quarterback or another big piece away.
Yeah. I still think the quarterback's the big issue, but I don't know what it is. Javonte Williams, I think, has to be featured, even though Melvin Gordon is looking good. Their tight ends are okay. Wide receivers are struggling to stay healthy, but they need a new quarterback, a dynamic quarterback. Jacksonville, Urban Meyer, he should go take that USC job. He should get the fuck out of the NFL. He doesn't know what he's doing. I don't think he's going to know what he's doing. I think he's going to leave Jacksonville worse off than they were when he ends up leaving. And Trevor Lawrence better hope that he leaves.
Quick question, because I don't really have anything to talk about this game except for this Urban Meyer bullshit. Real quick, do you think he leaves midseason or you think he leaves after the season?
I think he leaves. I think he leaves for sure.
I know you think he leaves.
Yeah,
That's what I'm asking. Do you think it happens before the season's over or after the season?
It just depends. It depends on the USC job. I think it depends on does he do the USC job? Does he want to go back to college? Or does he do what he did at Ohio State and at Florida, and he says, I have to leave because of personal reasons?
So here's my thing. My thing is with Urban Meyer, he never wanted to leave college. He left college because he got forced out because he had all that bullshit going on.
Yes.
I don't want to call it bullshit. It was serious shit, but it was shit with the domestic violence or whatever. I forget all the bullshit.
It was his coaches.
It was serious shit where he was covering up for his coaches, and basically they're like, dude, this is almost not as bad as the Penn State thing, but bad. You know, you're covering up shit where this female's in trouble or whatever the fuck it is. But with that being said, he was forced out. He didn't leave on his own. He made it seem like he stepped down because he wanted to go off like the good guy, and they gave him the option because they knew it was Urban Meyer. But he did not leave on his own. There was no fucking way he was leaving on his own. He's been waiting to get a big school to go to, and he wants to go somewhere warm. He wants to go somewhere where he enjoys. He said his family loves Florida. You think they love Florida because of just being Florida? They love Florida because of the fucking weather. That's why everyone loves Florida. With that being said, why wouldn't Southern California also appeal to him? Now, I don't think he leaves midseason. I think he leaves after the season because of the pure fact. I think it would be a dick move, and I think it would be a bad stain on his career if he did that because they changed this. I know, but they changed his whole organization for him.
Yeah.
He's got the largest coaching staff. They changed the whole offense for him. They brought in like cryo freezing chambers and shit. They did a bunch of shit. They basically made it like a college team for him. So the fact that this team went and did all that, I think it would be career suicide to fuck him over midseason, but I could definitely see after the end of the season being like, hey, let's part ways, just fire me so we can just call it a day.
Yep. Yeah, I think he's definitely gone, and Trevor Lawrence is proving that he is Peyton Manning 98. I think he's going to be 30 touchdowns, 30 picks. He's making a lot of rookie mistakes, but he's showing you that he could be, at some point, the best. So, give him a team, give him some time, and like I said, I think Lawrence is okay. I just think he's in a shitty situation right now, and hopefully it gets better for him. Now, talk about the opposite of the shitty situation, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hello, 48-25, hanging 23 extra on the fucking Atlanta Falcons.
This team might go undefeated,
even though they were only up by 3 at certain points of this game because Atlanta was staying in there and Matt Ryan was showing you some balls. But to me, like you just said, they are unbeatable if they are healthy, especially if Brady is fully healthy. They are unbeatable to me, and I don't see a team that can beat them. They're fun to watch, man. I love watching this team. I love watching them. They're fun. They look like they're having fun, and it looks fucking easy.
How the fuck is a guy at 44 years old throwing 5 touchdowns and interceptions?
And he says he wants to play till 50, and I fucking believe him. I believe him.
Happen.
I believe him. That's crazy. But let's get to Atlanta. We all know how great Tampa Bay is. We all know how great Tommy is.
Atlanta's done. Matt Ryan's done.
Atlanta, they should have drafted Justin Fields. I'll put it out there right now. I think he's done, even though he shows flashes of, he can make some good plays and whatever. He makes some of the most boneheaded, stupid, game-killing plays that I've ever seen a quarterback make, and that's Matt Ryan. I think they're soft all the way around. I think on offense, on defense, on special teams, they're soft. Finally, a good notion I think that I found from them was Cordero Patterson finally found a spot. This kid, they got him in the backfield. He's a fucking weapon, man. If you can use him right, he's a weapon.
He's always been a weapon.
But they couldn't find a spot.
No one really ever like dedicates to him.
They never found a spot. Arthur Smith has found him a spot in Atlanta, but they should have drafted Justin Fields. Kyle Pitts is okay, but they're not using him like they should either. Matt Ryan, they're going to really regret the fact that they didn't draft a quarterback in this last draft.
You think there's any dark horse chance Falcons come out of the woodwork for the Deshaun Watson?
I think he'd love it. As a Georgia boy, I think he'd love it. And I think maybe
very interesting.
Maybe at some point, I think if they get desperate, I think they say we got to pull the trigger. We didn't pull the trigger in the draft. We should do it for Watson. But again, they had Vic. Do they want to go with Watson? I don't know. So we'll see. But they need a new quarterback for sure. Arizona and Minnesota was a barn burner of a fucking game. That was a fucking back and forth. Nobody's playing defense. We're going to score whenever we want type of game until our kickers miss kicks, and that's what Minnesota did. I don't know if you hear that sound, Scotty, because it's pretty loud over here. Those are the people jumping off the fucking Minnesota train. It's how
I was
is
listening
this
intently. I was like, what am I listening
what
to?
the fuck was this? How the fuck is this team not a killer? You look all over the place at the names that these guys have at every position. How are they not killing teams? And they're 0-2. Can you tell me? So there's something got to be up with that coaching staff. Is it all on conservative Cousins? I don't know. He looked pretty damn good in this game.
3 touchdowns, no pick, 244 yards, 22 for 32.
Something's in the coaching staff. Something's in the water.
Dalvin Cook, it's not like he had a bad game, 131 yards.
No, he came back. I thought he was hurt twice, and he came back both times. Their kicking game is still atrocious. Even though Joseph hit 250-yarders before he missed the 52-yarder to win the game, they still can't find a kicker that makes a clutch kick, and people are hopping off left and right off this train. Arizona, Rondale Moore making a fucking appearance because A.J. Green still drops balls in 2021. Rondale's going to be number 2, I think, there sooner rather than later.
He was number 1 yesterday.
Yep. I do worry about the fact that Arizona has no running game and the fact that their secondary doesn't show up either. But this is almost like a poor man's Kansas City, Arizona. It's all on Kyler. It's all going to be up to what he does, and that's how they're going to go. And that's why I don't think they're a serious contender to win the Super Bowl because they're too one-sided. But they're fun to fucking watch. What do you think, Scotty?
I agree. Minnesota sucks. The Cardinals look good, but, they got no defense.
So we'll see.
Run game.
And that division is a great division. So
yeah, they're not going to be I still think they make the wild card, but I don't think they're going to survive the playoffs.
Yeah. Now, speaking of that division, let's talk about the last game that we haven't talked about yet, an OT thriller in Seattle. Tennessee fucking comes back and stuns the fucking Seahawks 33-30.
We kind of talked about that too, about how the revenge coming back after a loss, week 1 loss. I mean, that happens a lot, man.
Yeah, but
These
Seattle
teams bounce back.
Seattle let them bounce back, and it's because they have a one-sided fucking team. Russ is on the island again, man. It's all about Russ. He's fantastic. He's one of the best football players I've ever seen, but he can't do it himself every game of the season. They have no run game. They have no tight end play. They have 1 catch out of their tight ends. 1 catch in a game. 1 catch. How the fuck is that possible? Okay? And Carson had 2 touchdowns, but it was from the goal line. So they have no running game to help out Russ. Their offensive line is what it always has been. But it's always Russ on an island. I can't stand it. And let's get to Tennessee.
He's got to get out of there.
He should get out of there. I hate to say it, but he should get out of there because they are not treating him the right way. And Tennessee, man, Vrabel, every time I look at him on the sideline, he's an asshole. But they finally fed the king. What did I tell you about fucking Arizona?
Boy, did he eat. I'll tell you that.
He fucking feasted. Because Arizona, yeah, you get behind. Okay, I get you want to throw the ball. You have the fucking king in the backfield. Give him the fucking rock.
Stop calling him the king.
He's
Come
the
on.
king. He's King Henry. So we all know that he is fantastic unless he doesn't have the ball in his hands. And they gave him the fucking ball, and he single-handedly brought them back. I still worry about their secondary. Tennessee has no secondary. None. I mean, absolutely none. Russ could do whatever he wanted to whenever he didn't get rushed. And in Tennessee, it gave up still 30 points to Seattle. So as long as you feed the king, I think the Tennessee Titans are going to be okay. But if you don't, they don't have shit.
Yeah, I agree with that. Something else I was noticing? I noticed this kind of off topic. First off, Derrick Henry's a stud. You're 100% right. But off topic, is it just me? Or was there a lot of quarterbacks this week that didn't have fucking touchdowns? It's fucking weird. I know a lot of them are younger quarterbacks, but like Ryan Tannehill, no touchdowns.
Yeah, no. Tannehill. Let's count.
Mac
so we have
Jones,
Mac
no
Jones,
touchdowns. Zach
Zachy
Wilson,
Dub,
no touchdowns.
Tannehill. That's 3.
I mean, obviously
Tua,
and
and
Brissett.
That's 4. Yeah, fantastic. And then Hurts 5, and he should have had 1, but Hurts didn't have any. Winston 6. Yeah, I mean it is amazing. You're right. I mean it is something. This week was weird, man. This week was really weird. There were some games that.
And I felt like not to cut you off, but I feel like some of the games that did have like even high scoring, like even the Browns Houston game, Mayfield had 1 touchdown. Like some of these other games, like even if there was a touchdown, it was like 1. Where I feel like the last couple of years, it's been like, especially in the beginning, it's like 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns.
For
2 touchdowns,
quarterbacks
3
is what you're saying.
Yeah, for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a resurgence of the run game or what, but it's like it just feels like they're not scoring a lot, throwing the ball this first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, we'll see.
Unless you're fucking Tom Brady.
I was gonna say unless you're Tommy B, baby. Whew. I love that fucking guy. But all right, baby, that was week 2. We have the Monday night preview. We got Lions at Packers at Lambeau Field. There's some rain coming in apparently around 9 to 10 o'clock in Green Bay. Does that alter the 49-point over-under? We'll see. Green Bay's going off right now as a 12-point favorite against Detroit. We both like Detroit to stay within the 12. Does that change in your mind?
No. I think Green Bay plays well, though, today.
Okay. So you believe Green Bay plays well and you like them to win, but Detroit to cover. And I'm on the same boat. I'm calling the Detroit upset just because I want to be Mr. Upset this week, and I think that there's a shot that Rodgers is done. We will see. Do you believe that the over or under gets impacted by the weather tonight?
What is the weather? What is the over under?
49.
Yeah, I think it goes under now.
You're going to go under. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm leaning more towards the under as well for tonight. So we'll see how it goes.
I'm gonna say like a 28-17 score.
Okay.
Green Bay, Detroit.
Okay. All right. And also, since we won't talk to you guys again until Friday after the Thursday night game, we got to pick fucking Houston and Carolina. Houston is hosting Carolina at home. Will be the Texans. They're 7.5-point dogs right now. It looks like Tyrod Taylor is not going to play in that game against Carolina, and Carolina's coming off 2 big wins against the Jets and the fucking Saints. They look fully healthy. 7.5 points, Scotty. Do you think Houston has still got it in them where they cover after week 2 again?
No, I think Carolina wins and covers.
This time you think Carolina
runs
away?
I think they smoke them, yeah.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards that as well because I don't like Davis Mills, and I think this could be a game where McCaffrey feasts. So I will take Carolina minus 7 in the hook, and you're on the same board with me on that. So we will talk to you guys after that game and after the Monday night game, of course, tonight. We will recap both of those games on the show on Friday and then preview our Week 3 picks. So until then, baby, can't wait. But this is Rocco B. And for Scotty G, we say see you later and sayonara.
Adios.